Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the other side of the coin. Finally, some time to myself after the entire day hanging out with the family, which has been fantastic. We're now here in Banff. I believe this is in Calgary, so we're outside of British Columbia. So, look, we are literally in between mountains surrounding us, just mountains everywhere around us, and we're in between, inside the mountains as we speak. And these mountains are all literally they're covered by snow on top of the mountain. It's an amazing place. But ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about everything that has happened over the last 24 hours. It has been absolutely mind-blowing. As you can see, we're going to start talking about Ricardo Calafiori. We're going to talk about the big change that has happened at Chelsea Football Club in regards to Bath and Jim Fraser, I believe. So we're going to talk about all of that and a whole heap of other news that's been popping up. So I'm going to give you my opinions on each and every one of these news. By the way, it's 1:25 a.m. as I'm recording this from Banff in Calgary, Canada. So bear in mind, I could sound or be or look a little bit tired as well. But look, I'm buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing for all the news that's been popping off, and then to be providing the opinions to you guys. And equally, I want to know what you guys are what you guys are thinking about each of these news. Now, first up, ladies and gentlemen, Ricardo Calafiori is close to Arsenal for 42.3 million, coming from Dematio. Look, not surprised one bit that Calafiori is going for Arsenal. They have Champions League football. They are more primed to compete in the Premier League. We, on the other hand, we don't have Champions League football. We're definitely not competing for the Premier League next season. So, player of his caliber probably doesn't want to come to Chelsea Football Club and be part of the struggle. He wants to go and compete at the highest level. And that's quite understandable. This situation at Chelsea Football Club, it's not for everyone. And you have another season where you don't qualify for the Champions League. You best believe some of the players that we have right now, some of the talented players that we have right now, they'll probably move on as well, because they'll start believing that there's probably nothing happening at Chelsea Football Club. The so-called project, is all a bit of a sham. So look, Ricardo Calafiori, looking to join Arsenal, coming from Dematio, he's probably got a lot more knowledge when it comes to Italian-based news. And Bologna, they're open to selling these players. They know they can't hold on to this particular player, and they want the most money out of this player. I think there is a 50% sell-on clause from his parent club, the club prior to Bologna, and this complicates matters, and this is probably why even the 42.3 million, that's probably not that hefty. A player of his quality, if he was English in the Premier League, he's going for at least 70-80 million. So look, 42.3 million doesn't sound that bad of a business. Now, a little bit more in regards to this particular news. Arsenal are ahead for Ricardo Calafiori. They have presented their proposal to him along with the project, and he's open to joining them. Chelsea wants to include players in the deal, so let's see what happens. I think this is the issue. Chelsea want to include players. Now, a lot of our fans are like, what's wrong with that? They get a player, they can have a bit of resale value on that player, they can develop their player, and they can make more money out of it. No, it all comes down to how much Bologna can put in their books immediately. By getting a player, they're not actually they're not injecting money into their books, which is what is very important when it comes to the accounting side of things. This is why you don't see too many cash plus player deals, because it dilutes the value of the player. They believe Ricardo Calafiori is 42.2 whatever million, 45 million, and they want to get that in full amount. Plus, don't forget, as I said, Ricardo Calafiori's previous club has a 50% sell-on, so they're going to have to give 50% to that particular team as well. So if it was cash plus play, most of that cash would just disappear to that previous club. So they don't want that. They want to be able to inject some cash into their accounting books, which is going to make the whole financial fair play scenario much better for these Italian clubs. I'm pretty sure they have to abide by not obviously the Premier League style of financial fair play, but I'm pretty sure they have financial fair play in Serie A as well. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty certain they do. And financially, these Italian clubs, they're not doing that great, and they would rather have the money. So, according to Fab, Chelsea's strategy on Calafiori is to basically get Bologna to prefer to sell to us due to players we could offer them, and then in turn hope Calafiori would agree to go to us because Bologna would then want to do the deal with us. Smart or not, this is coming from Max. Look, there's too many ifs, buts, and whatnot. To be honest, as I said, far more exciting to go to Arsenal with Champions League football, far more ready to compete at the highest level. What do we have going for us? What do we have going for us? We have a lot of hope. We're hoping that next season, under a new management with quite a lot of talented players, that we are potentially going to do well. But it's just hope. That's what it is. So look, someone of the caliber of Calafiori, look, I'm not surprised that they're moving on to somewhere else. And we, on top of that, we've got Mark Cucurella, who's doing well. We still need to get rid of Ben Chilwell. So Calafiori, if he comes in, we need to sort out what we're going to do with these other players that we already have. So, look, I think it's admirable that Chelsea were looking to sign someone like Calafiori, but I'm also understanding that we're not in the same level to compete for Calafiori at the moment. Apparently, there were clubs like Bayern Munich lined up as well. PSG recently have lined up for Calafiori. So, player of that caliber, we just recently haven't been able to do that. I know a lot of people will say, what about Caicedo? What about Enzo Fernandez? Yeah, we splashed a lot of money, ridiculous amount of money. And that is something we are simply not going to be doing that any longer. Now, next up, ladies and gentlemen, this is the big topic that I want to talk to you guys about in complete detail. All right, let's get in on this immediately. Bath and Jim Fraser will step down from Chelsea. The situation was 2 or 3 months in the making and involved a lot of the internal discussions as Chelsea plotted a restructure. Now, Bath, I think the director of football development, Jim Fraser, head of youth development, I believe. So these two individuals were completely looking after the youth team, our academy, Cobham, basically, producing those Cobham products. This is a huge thing, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to explore many different parts of this particular scenario, right? This is on top of a whole heap of other previous personnels that were under Roman era. Your obviously Marina, Peter Cech, Bruce Bach, on top of a whole heap of other people that have left. Now Neil Bath, Jim Fraser. Don't forget, recently even Emma Hayes, the women's team manager, has left as well. So, as I said, I want to explore everything. One side of it makes me think that some of these people just simply don't see the project. They don't believe in the project. They don't believe in the direction that Chelsea Football Club's going. Especially Neil Bath and Jim Fraser. They can see that literally all of their youth players, the most recent one, Michael Golding, all of these youth players are getting sold for pure profit, and we're trying to do all of these other, bringing in other players and selling these academy players to basically balance the books. That's what it all comes down to. There doesn't seem to be a development path for these, academy players, if I'm being absolutely honest. And I think this is probably one of the disagreements that these two have had, most likely Neil Bath and Jim Fraser, that what about our own players? Where is the future going for these players? So that could be one thing that I feel is the issue. On the other side, I'm thinking this ownership, the new hierarchy, they want to create a new structure. They've brought in Maresca, who's going to play possession-based football, positional football, and they probably want to create that same feeling in the academy as well, that from the academy level to the first team level, everyone plays the same style of football. Everyone has the same philosophy. And this has been a bit of a mismatch over the past few years. You'd see some of the players that are coming out from our academy are not really well suited. Like your Conor Gallagher, for example. He's not really well suited for possession-based football. Alfie Gilchrist, another one. I don't think he's really suited for possession-based football. I know we've had other examples where in the likes of Billy Gilmore, in the likes of Reece James, probably even Mason Mount. I don't think he's really, built for possession-based football. So if you compare something like that with Barcelona, for instance, in La Masia, they play the same brand of football as they do in the first team. Same style of training, same philosophy, same ethos, all throughout from the bottom to the top. And I think this is probably what the new owners and the new hierarchy are trying to implement, I suppose, that we need to have all of these down packed. So that's the positive side of things. The other positive side is, look, someone like Joe Shields, we're going to talk about who's looking to take over. Neil Bath has decided to leave Chelsea. He's leaving of his own accord and amicably. There are some rumors that there's been some misunderstanding. Don't know how much of it is true or not, but potentially there could be a misunderstanding. And could be a bit of a mismatch in vision. But this is another bit of news in regards to the whole situation. Neil Bath and Jim Fraser's departure signal a seismic shift for Chelsea's academy under the new ownership of Clearlake Capital and Todd Bowley, with a new management structure expected to be led by co-director of recruitment and talent Joe Shield, as well as director of global recruitment Sam Jewell. You guys would have remembered last season when Sam Jewell was hiding, a lot of people were saying, oh man, there's just too many of these people, man. Like, are there too many, cooks in the kitchen? Are there too many chefs? But looks like with Neil Bath and Jim Fraser going, the only positive sense over here is the fact that it's going to be run by Joe Shields now. He's going to take over the director of recruitment. Joe Shields, we know he's done a bit of a madness for us. He's picked out some really good players for us. He was trying his level best to get Olise, which didn't happen, but we know what he did with Cole Palmer. Hopefully Romeo Lavia turns good for us as well. And he's linked with many other different players. So, look, I'm glad he's the director of recruitment because he's got an eye for talent. And Sam Jewell, he's been brought over, I believe, from Brighton again to come in and do a job for us. We like Brighton. We like the way they run their show over there. We like everything. So, look, ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts. All of these people, I think the Roman era now well and truly over. Neil Bath is a particular person who's been running the show for 20 years, 2 decades. So it's huge, man. There's one of the biggest reasons why Cobham has been so successful. So successful in the sense that there's been players that's come and obviously taken place in the first team, and we've been able to sell some of these players for decent amount of money. And they've gone on and so far some of them are having a very, very decent careers out there. So not like outstanding or anything, but somewhat decent. So look, there's been many players, Conor Gallagher, Mason Mount, Reece James, Billy Gilmore, Tariq Lamptey, and the list goes on. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, many, many more. Even Callum Hudson-Odoi is coming into fruition at Nottingham Forest, so much so that Nottingham Forest thinks he's a 40 million player. So look, obviously some sort of disagreement has happened. In one side, I'm thinking, wow, that's the Roman era down and absolutely dusted. And on the other side, I'm thinking, this is the new Chelsea now. Everything about it is brand spanking new now, and then there's no recollection of Roman at all. Am I going to sit here and be upset about this situation? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. They're going in a new direction, and I believe they're going in a direction that's going to match the first team, which is under Maresca. So let's see what happens. Let me know your thoughts, ladies and gentlemen, how you feel about that. Next up, ladies and gentlemen, Mark Cooker and Nico Williams. He would be a great signing for Barcelona, but it all depends on what he wants. I've been telling him to sign for Chelsea. In the end, everything depends on him. He's very young with a lot of experience. I think he will be a great player. So Mark Cucurella trying to be an agent, trying to convince Nico Williams to come to Chelsea Football Club. It's just not going to happen. Too much, like his wages is out of our reach, and that's been reported several times. And Barcelona, he wants to go to Barcelona, and I think there's been some reports recently coming from Pedri, I believe, that he's been also talking to Nico Williams, and he wants Nico Williams to come to Barcelona. But do appreciate Mark Cucurella trying to be the agent here. The only problem is we're going to get to it. There's rumors about Mark Cucurella potentially leaving Chelsea Football Club as well, and it's due to this whole Calafiori news. And look, at the end of the day, even if we don't get Calafiori, we are still interested to get a left-sided player, which could trigger Mark Cucurella to move on, or maybe Ben Chilwell. On Ben Chilwell, at the moment, nothing is imminent. This is coming from Fabrizio Romano, but it's possible for him to leave, especially if a left-footed defender is signed, which Chelsea want to do. They are adamant that they want to get a left-footed defender. There is still a possibility for Mark Cucurella to leave Chelsea if they receive a good proposal. However, Chelsea are not desperate to sell him and are happy with his performances. And the fact that Maresca's come in, he's going to get a lot out of Mark Cucurella. Mark Cucurella's skill set is going to absolutely be valuable to Maresca. So we're potentially looking for someone who can give similar type of traits as Mark Cucurella as a backup option or even as a starting option. And that should be the trigger to get rid of Ben Chilwell. And I think Ben Chilwell right now seems a bit seems a bit mismatch for the entire piece at the moment, especially with Maresca. Now, last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, breaking yet another Brazilian wonder kid. Chelsea have made an offer for Wesley Gasova. A lot of people talking about this player, Wesley, right-sided, I believe. Left-sided, right-footed winger. Correct me if I'm wrong. 19-year-old Corinthians won 16.9 million. Look, what are we going to do with all of these wonder kids? We don't even know what to do with Angelo Gabriel. We don't know what to do with Santos. Estevao William still yet to come in. We're looking at this brother. I feel like it's a bit too much. I feel like it's just getting out of control now. But look, I don't know too much about this Wesley guy. All I know, I think he's a left-sided winger, right-footed left-sided winger. And that is something that we're looking for. A lot of hype about him as well. But once again, let me know, ladies and gentlemen, because I've got no idea who this Wesley guy is, and but the hype is there. The hype is there. Yet another wonder kid. We love these 19-year-old wonder kids. So ladies and gentlemen, hope you guys have enjoyed this. Smash the like button if you're here for the first time. Subscribe, hit the bell notification to stay in touch with all my content, and let me know your thoughts about Calafiori and especially Neil Bath and Jim Fraser. Let me know your thoughts about the academy restructure that's taking place. Until next time, everyone, take care. See ya. Goodbye.